Hello everybody, it's me Carmine DiStefano, the Bookman.
They call him the Bookman, his rants never end. He's angry and he's loud and he has a lot of friends. If you have Alyssa Milano's number, you can always send it to Carmine DiStefano, the Bookman.
That song don't make no sense.
Hello everybody, it's me Carmine DiStefano, the Bookman. And this is the last week for Heroines. All the way back in 1986, Nintendo released on its entertainment system a side-scrolling action shooter game, innovative at the time, that was called Metroid. It was a new type of game for us little kids back then, and we thought the main character Samus Aran was really cool. Until we realized she was a woman. Ew. Then they brought Samus to the Metroid home planet on the Game Boy, but the next prominent game was not released until 1994 in Super Metroid, when Samus was sent back to Zebes to locate the space pirates once more. Now we teenage gamers were thinking the idea of Samus being a woman was really hot. Then after a couple more releases on the Game Boy Advance, it seemed that Nintendo missed an opportunity by releasing something on Nintendo 64 in the Metroid series. Then on the GameCube in 2002, they released the legendary Metroid Prime and 2004 Metroid Prime Echoes. Then on the Wii in 2007, they released Metroid Prime Corruption. But that trilogy will be reviewed at a later date. Then in 2010, on the Wii, they released a game that became the most controversial Metroid game of all, called Metroid Other M. So much was said against this game. But since it's called Other M, it got me to thinking, maybe it's not really Samus Aran. Maybe it's another take on the character. Or maybe it's Samus Aran from another dimension. Submitted for your approval, one Samus Aran, bounty hunter and intergalactic hero. Just come across a very different mission. In fact, this mission could change Samus Aran forever. Or perhaps it's not even Samus Aran at all. Or perhaps it's Samus Aran with the Twilight Zone. Well, let's take a look at it together, shall we? Game opens where Super Metroid ended, with Samus being given the power of Mother Brain from the baby Metroid she found on the home planet. That helps her destroy Mother Brain. We then see her... Oh. Samus, when did you get so voluptuous? No, I'm not going to do it anymore. Made a promise, I'm not going to do it anymore with video game women. Nope. They then take her to the training room, where we get an idea of how to utilize the Wiimote in its sideways position and find out all the new moves that Samus has. Scientist then tells her,
"The big dogs are waiting. I gave your suit a polish so you'd be at least somewhat presentable."
Remember that.
As Samus flies off in her mothership, she gets a distress call from this bottle ship, which seems devoid of life, until she catches up with some Federation army troops, led by Adam Malkovich. Since they had an abrupt falling out, Samus wants to play nice and follows his orders. First order being helping his soldiers destroy this purple monstrosity. Then she's told to turn on the power so she can go to Sector 1, which is like a throwback to Brinstar on Zebes. There she comes across this little Pokemon-looking white piece of shit. That doesn't seem to be significant at all. As she ventures through Sector 1, she lands on this purple plant-looking creature. After fighting a bunch of flying insect-like creatures, she destroys the main source of all these monsters. And then sees, once again, that little white shit. Going deeper into the facility, she comes across a monster like this that's easily dispatched despite its size, and meets up again with the soldiers who are trying to hack in the system to find out what's going on. She's sent out into another part of this facility where she comes across a space pirate looking thing made by the Federation. She's attacked by these creatures and left to fight them on her own. Samus then gets a call from her men outside that they're being attacked by a giant beast. So she comes to help them out. However, she's mounted by this beast. This is a little difficult since you have to hit the point of its tail with missiles before it stabs you to death. And it doesn't take many stabs to get you. But eventually it'll run away and head back in the facility. Tracking down this green blood, Samus comes across the remnants of that white little shit. Seems to have been broken through. As she returns to another part of the facility, the science area is destroyed by somebody she doesn't know. So she goes to Sector 2, which is kind of like a throwback to Norfair, the lava area. There... this thing wants a piece of her, but she escapes and goes further into Sector 2. It's a large creature, but the battle is moderately easy if you know how to attack it. And when you defeat it, it keels over and dies. She then goes into another part of the facility that reminds you of Phendrana Drifts. But since she hasn't been there yet, it's not a throwback, see? She comes across this frightened woman who tells her that one of the Federation troops killed one of its own. Then it seems that Killer is after Samus in this cargo lift machinery. This battle can be a pain in the ass, but when you're done, Samus moves on. She's then sent back to Sector 2 to help her friend Anthony in the Federation Army. Adam allows her to turn on her grapple beam so she can spring into action. After it flies away, Anthony and Samus rehash some memories, and that leads to a cutscene! No! Here, Adam, commanding Samus at the time, had a mission that involved his brother. And when it seemed to fail, he allowed his brother to die despite Samus begging to help out the situation. But in order to save the mission, his decision needed to be made, and Samus regrets acting up as she did. She then traverses deeper into the lava area where she's attacked by that creature from before. This battle can drive you crazy, but just keep using your grapple beam to pull the creature out of the lava, shoot its belly, and soon it will keel over and die. And that leads her to Anthony apparently spotting her to kill her. However, instead of her, he was going after this creature, who turns out to be Ridley back in the flesh, which gives Samus some flashbacks she'd prefer not seeing again. Anthony, protecting her, seemingly gets killed. Samus then turns on her super missile and plasma beam and gets into action. And that means one of the best boss fight themes in the entire video game world. Though Ridley's armor seems weak, his attacks are extremely powerful, so this battle can lead you to death a few times. But once you hit him enough, Ridley will fly off to fight another day. As Samus goes further into the facility, she comes across the woman that was running away before, who introduces herself as Madeline Bergman, one of the scientists on this project that's been going on in this battleship. Using the remnants of the Metroid that was destroyed on Samus's body by Mother Brain, the scientists were able to also bring back Metroids. This was all co-signed apparently by Adam Malkovich, which makes Samus think he's a traitor. After fighting this weird mechanical boss, Samus heads towards Sector 0, where she gets shot in the back by Adam. Then we cut to... oh, not another cutscene! No! Adam says his cosign was actually set up by the Federation to pass along this project. He spoke against it. And now she's, oh, God. I'm restraining myself. I will not say it. I will not do it. Nothing. It's video game woman. It's not real. I'm restraining myself. I'll let this guy speak for me.
God, you're a hot.
And now he wants to go into Sector Zero and blow it up with him inside to stop these enhanced Metroids from leaving the battleship. Samus and him have an emotional send-off, and then she gets ready to kick some major ass. Eventually, Samus will come across another dead soldier, which leads her to this area where she finds another woman scientist. Trying to avoid Samus, this woman opens these doors where Samus enters and sees hatched Metroid eggs. Who's laying them? After felling the Metroids, use your super missiles against the Queen's radiated spine and she'll keel over, but not die. Samus enters her belly and uses her recently turned on power bombs to turn her to dust. Now we come to... Confound thee, demons! No more cutscenes! Here, the woman introduces herself as the real Madeline Bergman. See, the Madeline that Samus met before was the incarnation of the Federation scientist, artificial intelligence, or second Mother Brain. They wanted her to keep everything under control, but once she started to figure out that she had her own intelligence, they got a little scared and tried to reprogram her, which pissed her off enough to cause all the chaos that Samus and the Federation troops had stumbled across. Then they find that she's right over there. If you don't play your cards right, you will continue to get killed in this part. These creatures are really strong and they keep recharging. So what you have to do is find Mother Brain in the center of the room and focus on her. Then Madeline will shoot her with an ice beam. And one of the Federation troops comes to take her away. Turns out to be Anthony. So Samus, Anthony, and Madeline Bergman on her mothership return to the Federation headquarters, where she gives Adam Malkovich a little tribute. Afterwards, Samus returns to the battleship to find all the power-ups she missed before and use her power bombs to expose these creatures and fight them as well. That's pretty much it. So what did I think of this game? Despite everything I've heard, despite all the trash talk that was going on, everything I read on the internet, I particularly enjoyed this game. I really didn't understand what everyone was complaining about. It was a nice throwback to the original Metroids. I was enthusiastically trekking through this battleship, unlocking weaponry and equipment, finding other items, and looking forward to getting to new rooms I couldn't get to before. The controls are really smooth, as well the animations. It's very quick moving, so the traditional Metroid backtracking really doesn't take that much time or drive you as crazy as it can. It's challenging to the point of frustration, but it doesn't turn you off from the game, and it's an entertaining play overall. Granted, the cutscenes can be very, very long, and the voiceover acting might not be the best. You might not have knights and danes acting out these characters like you do in other games, but it's still not so awful that it makes me sick. Personally, I thought everyone needed to just relax. This game didn't ruin my image of Metroid, or Samus Aran for that matter. Mission accomplished, another day is saved, and Samus Aran goes back to her normal bounty hunting. But could it ever be normal for her again? Could she ever return to the Samus Aran we're all comfortable with? These questions could be answered in the Twilight Zone. And that ends our tribute to Heroines. Thank you all for watching. I have more for you soon to come, so stay tuned, take care, and have a great day!
God, you're a hot.